you, Chad.
Hey, thanks, guys. What's your name, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm Anthony.
Okay, I'm Scott.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, I'm the
You're the play-by-play guy? Is that what I was told?
Yep, that's me.
All right. Well, let's hope there's lots of plays.
Yeah, let's hope. I agree. At least it's not raining anymore. That's for sure.
What did we say the Siouxland United are?
The Outlaws. The Outlaws. Mic check 1 2 check 1 2 live from Lakeville North.
Minnesota Blizzard. Our officials for tonight's game are Hugo Mattis, Joanna Hamburger, Agate, and Victor Miralea. And now, let's welcome the starting lineup for our visitors tonight, the Siouxland United Outlaws. Starting for Siouxland, number 10, Jonah Lutz. Number 20, Dariel Contreras. Number 23, Emilio Madrigal. Number 19, Itetsu Yoshida. Number 7, Javi Munoz. Number 6, Keohei Iguchi. Number 16, Lucas Foreman. Number 3, Abdallah. Number 5, Xavier Davidson. Number 17, Chris Marshall. And in goal, number 65, Bradley Ironside. The coach of the Outlaws is DJ Wiley, assisted by Anthony Galliana and Kenny Gonzalez. And now the starting 11 for the home team, your Minnesota Blizzard. In goal, number 0, Danny Burgos. Number 1, Gabe Lay. Number 2, Alexander Estrada Cortez. Number 4, Noah Hermanson. Number 5, Max Dust. Number 6, Diego Navia. Number 7, Jaden Morgan. Number 9, Willen Schrock. Number 10, Devin DeGrado. Number 16, Carter Hermanson. Number 21, Matt Locker. And number 23, Keon McGoey. At this time, we ask you to please rise as you are able, as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome inside Lakeville North High School, where we are just about ready to go for the regular season finale between your Minnesota Blizzard FC and the visiting Siouxland United FC. Glad you're with us here on Game Time. My name is Anthony Winker. Happy to be with you. And here is the situation, folks. At the final game of the regular season, the Blizzards sit 3 games outside of a playoff, or 3 points, I should say, outside of a playoff spot. They're playing the top team in the conference by points percentage right now in Siouxland United FC, but if they want any chance at finishing inside the top 4, they're going to need to win today and get a full 3 points if they're going to want a shot at the postseason. Then they're going to need some help, but this is the only thing that they can control right now is that getting that win today. Here is the starting 11 for both teams and in this matchup. For starters, it is the Siouxland United FC. It'll be Divine, Abdallah, Aguchi, Munoz, Rocha, Foreman, Marshall, Yoshida, Contreras, Madrigal, and Ironside. For the Blizzard, starting 11 should be pretty familiar. It's Burgos, Estrada Cortez, Hermanson, Just, Navia, Morgan, Chirac, DeGrado, Hermanson, Locker, and Magowi. So it should be a fun matchup here. The final one of the regular season. Kind of an early end, it seems like, maybe, for the Blizzard. 2 more matches left to be played after today for Siouxland United FC. So, well, it's been a fun year, though, so far, and I'll see if they can finish it off strong and get the win in that final game of the year. The Blizzard in those black jerseys. Perhaps not too fun on a day like today when the weather is the way that it is. We have had some rain off and on throughout the day, but right now it is real toasty out there and not many clouds out there. The sun is shining on Lakeville North High School this evening. Siouxland United, they've made the trip up from Iowa for the weekend and just about set to go for this contest. A fun season for the Blizzard and certainly a step up from last year when they didn't win a match in 12 tries. They've got 2 under their belt, and both have come in this stadium, Lakeville North High School. And we'll have a chance to pick up the 3rd and what would, in fact, be the biggest win of the year. They can take down one of the league's best tonight in the Outlaws. Be Siouxland United FC in the orange jerseys, moving from left to right across your radio, or across your screen, I should say, with the kick, and we are officially underway from Lakeville North High School. Unfortunately, we'll not have the timer working for you, so I'm going to have to be making sure that I'm delivering those updates as in a timely manner as possible. Got just counting up from 0. Get all the way up to 45 minutes here in the first half. But we're not able to get the sync to work between the scoreboard and our scoreboard here this evening. So we apologize for that right away. A good steal by the Blizzard and Navia. And now the first possession for the Blizz. Chirac will dance and move it back. Chirac running away from the double team. Short area passing by the Blizzard. The pressure put on. And Burgos pass a little off target, but recovered by Minnesota. And now up the field is Magowi, their leading man. 4 goals on the year for Kian Magowi. Couldn't quite dribble his way through the defenders that time. And now Siouxland United will take it. Abdallah is in the back. And gets it into the middle. And Munoz. Marshall put it past too far up ahead. And Burgos will bring it back into the box. Now he has his options. DeGrado pushes it through the open space, the far side of the field. So we've just reached the 2-minute mark in the first half. Burgos all the way down the field. Flipped forward for McGoey. Taken in now by Munoz for the Outlaws. Now Marshall. Midfield for Iguchi. Nobody in the area on that clearance for the Blizzard, so this will be a throw for the Outlaws. Marshall trying to play that ball through up ahead for Contreras, not quite there. But it makes its way into the middle, perhaps a more dangerous chance now for the Outlaws. Left side chance, and down in a heap just outside the box. It looks to be Jaden Morgan, or check that. That's Hermanson down over there, and just limping back up to his feet. Hopefully he is okay. Deep ball will trickle all the way back to Ironside, and he'll handle it and won't touch it with his hands yet. And he won't on this try. He'll move it back up ahead. Here come the Outlaws one more time. Foul called here on the Blizzard. 4 minutes old in this contest. This must-win game for the Blizzard. They want a chance at the postseason. 3 points back, as we showed you in our standings in the pregame. We'll need a win and then some help. They want a chance. Join the crop of 3 teams then that would make if the Blizzard are able to get the win. All sitting at 10 points, and that would be the Demon Hawks and the Sioux Falls Thunder. Just outside ball, just out of the reach of Hermanson. This is going to be a throw for Siouxland United. Certainly a tough task today for the Blizzard against this Outlaw squad. Winners of 5 straight matches since starting the year 0-2. So they have been on an absolute tear since losing those opening 2 matches of the season. Here's a chance maybe in transition now for the Blizzard. Estrada Cortez from outside the box lets the shot fly just over the bar. I'll let that one go from about 25 yards out. And came pretty close, but not quite able to tuck that one underneath it. But to mention the Outlaws and just how hot they've been, just 19-4, they've been outscoring their opponents with a plus 15 goal differential since losing those opening 2 games. The Blizzard are going to try to give them all they can handle today, and this is going to be a foul on Munoz, just essentially jumping on the back of Chirac. Good job boxing out by number 9 in black. So a set piece look for Minnesota right away. 6:27 and counting now in the first. It'll be McGoey who's standing over it. Is standing over it. Everybody else on the offensive side of the ball lined up on the edge of the 18. Whistle blows. McCoy will serve one in. That's a pretty good ball headed out to safety. A half volley attempt, swing and a miss, but Blizzard were able to maintain possession. Chirac, and now DeGrado. Chirac is in a straight jacket, but he's able to knock it out of bounds off the defender, and he'll go quick. Try to get it in. Good defense. Oh, they're going to say foul. Maybe a jersey tug by Davidson. He was a little slow to his feet now. Xavier Davidson picking up the foul. Chirac will struggle back up to his feet. Should make that Morgan. Another chance for McGoey outside of the box, but within 18 yards. Estrada Cortez will stand over it as well. Don't think this one can go to goal. Just two on the wall for the Outlaws. Here we go. McGoey looking for the goal, but captured by Ironside. And now here come the Outlaws and try to catch the Blizzard in transition, perhaps. Ball pressure has been excellent to start this match for the Blizzard. See if they can take advantage by forcing another turnover. Estrada Cortez on the dance. In the middle of the field, not quite there. This is Navia. McGoey. And that's ushered out of bounds, unfortunately, off of McGoey, it looks like. So this will be a goal kick for the Outlaws. Just over 9 minutes gone by in the first half. The scoreless contest between the Blizzard and the Outlaws. Siouxland United coming off of a nice performance. Their last time out, they hung a 7 spot on the Sioux Falls Thunder. Victors 7-2 in that one. Meanwhile, the Blizzard coming off of a loss at the Joy Athletic Club. Just a little ways away at St. Thomas Academy. Tough loss for the Blizzard in a game that it felt like they deserved a little bit better. They gave up a goal in the 81st minute to lose it, and now Morgan missing just wide. Tried to hit that one on a half volley-ish style, but not quite there. This will be a goal kick coming for the Outlaws. Of course, during our game, throughout the game today, we'll be getting the chance to thank some of our sponsors this evening. The first one is Courtyard by Marriott in Roseville, the official indoor soccer hotel of choice for the Blizzard and all the visiting opponents. Check out the QR code on their banner. High hit. Looked like they're delivered. That one was on Lutz. Zhao Rocha, actually. Check that. Just a common follow. We'll play on. Contreras. That one, friendly fire. And cleared up the field by the Blizzard. This bouncing ball will be tracked down and played back towards Ironside. Iguchi played it up, and now the Outlaws turn it over again. There goes Just. Flag stays down. A physical challenge by the Outlaw defender on the far side of the field there. This will be out of bounds for a goal kick. Just over 12 minutes gone by now in the first half. The pressure from the Blizzard coming deep in the attacking third. This is going to go out of bounds for a Blizzard throw. So coming out with a lot of energy in the contest so far is the Blizzard. And we'll certainly see if they can get rewarded with a goal here. The tackle missing as Hermanson just shakes it off. But a good recovery by the Blizzard to win the ball back. And this ball will go out of bounds for an Outlaws throw-in. Goal scoring has certainly been an issue for the Blizzard this year. They erupted for 3 in their opener. A 3-0 victory against the Sioux Falls Thunder, but since then they've only scored more than 1 goal once in a match. And that was a 2-2 draw against the Iowa Demon Hawks, and they were the beneficiaries of being able to play a man up for most of that game. Morgan trying to win this free. That's going to be a little dicey. But Ironside made a good play to get rid of it quick. More good defense by Minnesota. Navia on the move. A great challenge, but did he touch it with a hand perhaps? I think they're going to give a handball there. So the Blizzard will have another opportunity here. They had a set piece opportunity. I believe that is Navia standing over it on the far side of the field. Drives it in. That's a little too low. It didn't turn out to be too dangerous, but backpedaling and tracking down the loose ball. The Blizzard to go back on the attack again. Here's Chirac. A little give and go. Made its way through, but deflects away from McGoey. And Abdallah will play it back to his netminder. Just over a third of the way through the half. 15 minutes and 7 seconds have gone by in the first 45. The regular season finale this evening for the Blizzard. And the ball really feels like has not entered the Blizzard attacking third since the opening exchange in this contest. The Blizzard, I'm sure, would love to keep it that way for as long as possible. Well, now the Outlaws are able to bring it in and put some stress on the back line for the Blizzard. Running in circles, Yoshida gets it back out high. And playing catch with Foreman. Now all worked all the way back to Davidson. Xavier Davidson finds an alley through. Flip the field now, Marshall drives it towards the middle. Estrada Cortez met with a double team. Tries to shake it off and does, and played upfield, but out of the reach of Chirac, and it will be a Siouxland throw. Now work it in quickly and keep play moving. On the left side of the field, and a good steal by Hermanson, who gets tackled, and a yellow card will not come out, it would appear. Oh, yes, it will. So a yellow card has been issued to Joao Rocha. And that's a kind of a rare sight because the Siouxland United FC Outlaws do not get hit with those that often. Just the 5th time that a yellow card has been assessed to them this season. It was the first time that Rocha has gotten one. The free kick is played, and Blizzard able to get it back after it got headed back into their territory. And now Chirac plays it up to the Estrada Cortez, and he has that one stripped away. Estrada Cortez with a nice recovery to win it back, though. Yellow card going into Rocha. Free kick opportunity coming up for Siouxland United here. And this is inside the hash marks, right down the middle opportunity for the Outlaws. It's pretty decent ways out, though. Probably about 37 yards away from the goal. So probably not a threat to score from here. Going to try to drive it through anyway. And Burgos will watch that one go wide. So nearing the 21st minute of action now. The Blizzard will have to find a way out of their defensive half. That's not ideal. That's going to be a throw coming up for the Outlaws. Looking for an option, and a good read by Chirac, but it's going to be knocked straight up into the air and going to go out of bounds for yet another Siouxland throw. Madrigal will look to throw here. It must have a pretty big arm because everybody's lined up inside the box. He'll deliver it in, headed up into the air. And Burgos almost on the end line. Had to track that one down, and he'll hold on. Our next sponsor is X Hydration, the official sports drink and kit sponsor of the Minnesota Blizzard FC. Check out their Arctic Blast flavor sold at home games and at Hy-Vee and via Amazon. Get some at the concession stand if you're at the stadium. Chance here for the Blizzard to get a throw deep into Siouxland FC territory. A good effort there. And DeGrado's going to run over there and take it. And he also has a big arm. So this will draw everybody into the box. And he's all the way in like lane 5 of the track. And I'll take a pretty hefty run up for this one. Here he goes. He gets all the way through. Here's a chance. And driven over top of the cage by Jaden Morgan. Oh, man. Couldn't quite get that one directed on frame. Just a little too tall with the shot. And it'll be a goal kick now for the Outlaws. That was about the opportunity probably that the Blizzard wanted, and I'm maybe not sure if Blizzard or if Morgan knew how much time he had. He probably could have settled that one down if he wanted. But usually things are so bang bang in the box like that. You can't blame him for wanting to pull a trigger on it as fast as he possibly could. Good pressure here again by the Blizzard, but it is going to be launched all the way up the field by Marshall. And now a 1v1 battle ensues, and here comes trouble. Contreras. And that is going to be handled by Burgos off the deflection. So good recovery defensively by the Blizzard to alter that shot. Burgos will just launch this one as far as he can down the field. Pretty good punt. It was about 60 yards. The Panthers need a punter. The Lakeville North Panthers, maybe that's a guy to turn to. Hermanson drives it outside, pushed into the box on target, and handled by Ironside. Nearing the 24-minute mark now in this one. Just getting into the box. Burgos out aggressively and is able to slide in for the cover. Not quite as big of a leg on the punt this time from Burgos. And this one off the shoulder, it would appear, of Navia. So this will be a free kick from the Outlaws. And that's going to be a foul and probably a card. That will be assessed. I believe that one's going on Noah Hermanson. Didn't really want to chase after him. His brother stepped in there. Kind of had it showed for him, but I believe that was Noah who committed that act. 25 minutes gone by. Here's the free kick, tap short. This one's going towards goal, and Burgos brings it in. Hunting for Morgan on the punt, but hops over his head, and now the Outlaws are going to take possession. They've owned the last 5-10 minutes of this contest. Possession's been mostly theirs. The Blizzard kind of took it to them. The first 5 minutes were in the way of the Outlaws. The next probably 15 or so, the way of the Blizzard. And now the last 5-10 minutes kind of been owned by Siouxland United. So we'll see if the Blizzard can turn the tide of momentum back. The pendulum has been swinging back and forth in this game so far. Morgan gets this back to Navia. And the pressure coming when it's turned over by the Blizzard. And now they got to get back defensively. Pass finds its way through, but just a touch behind the target. The Blizzard are going to be offside here, so they can't play this one. That'll allow the Outlaws to take control. And Outlaws have been around not too long, since just 2023, same year founded that the Blizzard were. They are also searching for their first postseason appearance. They missed last year by just 2 points, with finishing with 6 wins, 6 losses in the 12-game regular season. Then headed away to safety by Davidson. Otherwise, you're looking at Key and McGoey going down one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Now a challenge for the Blizzard back line. Rocha drives it. Saved by Burgos. A rebound tracked down. And kicked high into the air. Not quite cleared fully, though. Now will be gathered in by Navia. Navigating away from his number twin, Yaguchi. And Navia got it up ahead to Morgan and plays it to Estrada Cortez. Chirac in the field flipper. Finds a lane for McGoey, but he couldn't quite deflect that one. Looked like he was trying to get that back near Estrada Cortez, but not quite there. Not too many grade A scoring chances in this contest for either squad so far. We'll see if that changes. Another look here on the run for the Outlaws. Able to dance by Hermanson in the box. Shot taken, and that goes off the side of the goal. Just missing the target. Zorao Rocha, I believe that was for the Outlaws. And there was your good scoring opportunity, just as I said it. Looking for a chance to break the seal in this contest. Well, the Blizzard just have to find a way to get possession back. Steele, DeGrado sprinting up the left wing. DeGrado still going, stumbling, and they're going to get the foul. And now another card's going to come out. And the card is going to be shown to Contreras for the Outlaws. So 2 cards already. The free kick coming up for McGoey. And this is a pretty dangerous spot if you can serve one in the right spot. "30 minutes gone by exactly in this one. 2 in the wall again. McGoey in swinger. And that one's put right up into the air. And worked free. Chirac able to track it down. A little too much mustard on his playback pass. Matt Locker will restart the Blizzard attack and then kind of dribbled himself into some trouble. And Rocha is down. Next sponsor is TOCA Soccer. Check out their upgraded facility in Burnsville. They're the official indoor training site of the Minnesota Blizzard FC. Rocha, the leading goal scorer, is the man down right now for the Outlaws. He gets back up to his feet, and that's a good sign for them. And he'll walk slowly back towards his position at the left forward spot. And this 2-1-3-4 look for the Outlaws. Got an advantage here for the Outlaws. I'll play through it. A triple team is coming to meet Munoz, and it proves to be effective. This ball's still in bounds, and sure they're going to say out of bounds. And interestingly enough, it's going to be the Blizzard's ball. I thought for sure that if that was going out of bounds, that was going to be the Outlaws' ball. The Blizzard will take it, though, for sure. Chirac heads this forward. And a good gather by the Outlaws. Allow them to keep possession. Ironside presents himself. And now here come the Outlaws again. Madrigal. Played forward. Contreras. Be cleared out of bounds by Locker. Madrigal will throw it in. Quick ball movement by the Outlaws. Madrigal back more towards the middle of the field. Worked around. Foreman finds his man. Crossfield pass all the way through for Marshall. Straightaway chance. In the box it goes. Defensive play made by the Blizzard. Kept alive. Foreman on a strong foot will play it back out for Marshall. Drives one in the box. And Locker got a foot to it. And the Blizzard able to avert that crisis. But again, just feels like they haven't been able to possess the ball. Ironside. Now Marshall met by the challenge of Chirac. Davidson. And the deep ball thrown in by Abdallah. Had a little bit of English on it. Hermanson. It's kept alive by the Outlaws. And now Hermanson with the clearance. Let's go out of bounds. Be another throw. Over 34 minutes gone by in this half. Another throw coming up for the Outlaws. And they've just been playing a pretty effective game of keep away from the Blizzard in the last 15 minutes or so. Middle run tracked down from the turf. Nice play by Locker to break up a scoring opportunity. Here goes Morgan. Now the Blizzard with a look. Good ball thrown in by out to Chirac. Morgan will put a header towards the goal, but not too much juice on it, and easily held on to by Ironside. Our next sponsor is Canada Bloom Wealth and Solutions, committed to helping you succeed. The ways we can help you are based on experience, not by quick wins or fads. Give us a call to discuss how we can help you at Canada Bloom Wealth and Solutions. DeGrado boxing out well. And we'll just usher this ball out of bounds. Good play by Devin DeGrado. Navia. And trying to play it outside. Makes its way through to Morgan. Given some space. Morgan creates some of his own. Now trying to dribble through traffic. Hermanson steps up, but wasn't quite going to get there in time. But then wiping out where the Outlaws, and Hermanson will take advantage. Chirac. Not a great first touch. Still trying to settle it down. Chirac trying to jump around the defender. Not quite. And then Chirac just pulls on him, and that'll be a foul. Maybe a frustration foul taken there by Will and Chirac. We're getting closer to halftime now. 36-52 and counting. A little too heavy touch there from the Blizzard. Now some room. Just. Finds Chirac. And now Just on the move. Trying to drive that one towards the box. Not quite. And this is going to be a Blizzard throw. Just adjusting his shin pads. DeGrado will make his way through to make the throw. This is in the position where he'll try to launch this one in the box. We'll see if that's what the plan is here. He has Chirac as an option back near the 30 if he wants it, though. It's almost like the Blizzard are treating this as a set piece look opportunity, though. And Negredo will take that option short. Dealt in by Chirac and just over the head. Chance from long, long range. Not quite make it through. Hermanson turning, looking. It's shut down by Ironside. I thought maybe that Negredo was going to take that short opportunity. He had the chance with Chirac, but Chirac's ball looked like it was just a little bit too far out from the net. It's a good try, good thought, and now even though that didn't work, now you have to put that thought in their head, as in, hey, we might do that, and maybe you guys should bring somebody out to mark them, and that's one less person in the box. The game within the game, as they say. So I'm going into the stands. This will be a throw for the Blizzard. To 38, 58 and counting. Nearly 39 minutes gone by, approaching now the 40-minute mark. Munoz going for the big ball. Hermanson cuts his man off and is able to kick it out of bounds. Well, everybody will make the slow jog and slow walk up the field. And a foul called on the Blizzard just outside the box.
Fans, just a quick reminder, tropical snow continues to have snow cones on this warm summer evening.
Got it down for Siouxland United, but as the Blizzard players going over to help him up, he's like, nah, I'm good. And just gets up on his own 2 feet by himself. And now the game is 40 minutes old. Good opportunity coming up for the Outlaws. Set piece look on a free kick just outside the 18. And now if you're Burgos, got to look out for a chance towards goal. Will be pushed in, headed up and out, but it will be the first corner of the game now. Left-footed kick in on the in-swinger. That's a deep ball. Knocked straight up into the air, cleared by DeGrado. Put it right on the foot of the player. Burgos has to make a save on that shot from just beyond outside the 18. And maybe perhaps the Blizzard got away with something in the box there. Morgan trying to dribble away from a triple team meanwhile. Yoshida, the deep ball, but that goes way out of bounds. And here's a throw, or a goal kick that is for the Blizzard. Just over 42 minutes gone by, so 3 minutes left to go in the first half, plus whatever stoppage time there might be. Should probably be a few minutes at least. Oh, nice move there by Munoz to work free. And now he wriggles past another defender. Munoz with a good ball through. Trying to track it down and doing so in the corner is Madrigal. Chance here, but it's taken away by the Blizzard. And we'll play on after a now Blizzard player is down. That's Morgan at the 40-yard line. And he wants a foul. He's not going to get it. Two minutes left to go now in the half. And what's been a scoreless game so far. While we wait, our next sponsor is the Subway by McStop, the official post-game fuel for the Blizzard. Get a sub at the Blizzard game concession stand. A Subway, eat fresh. Navia reaching out and getting a foot on that. Knock it out of bounds. Blizzard kind of just in survival mode at the moment, trying to keep a ball out of their net, get to the halftime locker room. There's the ball through. Here's a chance. Good defensive play by Locker to cut it off. But put right back into attacking third, or no, they're going to say foul. Morgan will try to play it quickly, and he will. It gets to the far side of the field. Hermanson. Will spin and now try to attack down the sideline. Making progress. Hermanson enters the 18 on the line, trying to slide it through, but Abdallah with a nice defensive play. That looked promising for the Blizzard, and now a chance the other way. Contreras in behind the defense, fires! Burgos with a save, and he holds on to it. And Danny Burgos, perhaps the team MVP on the year, has come up with big save after big save for this team, especially here at Lakeville North High School. Negredo goes for the big ball up ahead. That's bouncing into the box. Morgan couldn't quite run into it. We've reached over the 45-minute mark, so stoppage time here. And again, they always never tell us how much stoppage time there is, so it's just going to be kind of a mystery when the half ends. We'll figure out along with you all. Back in action. A couple of balls on the field there. They seem to have that figured out. Marshall. Clearance by the Blizzard. Estrada Cortez dribbling backwards. Walker. And did he get that off of his own teammate? No. We're going to say that went off of the Outlaws. Chirac looking over his options here on the throw. Didn't like what he saw, so he'll reload. Abdullah. Now Morgan pushes it to the outside, and that's going to be a handball as Hermanson kicked it right into his own fingers. So that's an unfortunate break for the Blizzard. And that perhaps looked promising. Now Hermanson had to hustle back to get there defensively. Break up a play and does. Yep, and there is the halftime whistle. So a good half of soccer both ways, especially for Siouxland United FC owning that possession, but they were unable to get one past Danny Burgos, who made 3 or 4 saves in that one, including a grade A opportunity on Contreras, far side of the field. And that is the reason why we are scoreless right now. The Blizzard, they had a couple of chances to try and perhaps get one of their own, but have been unable to really get anything meaningful on frame so far, and they'll look to change that in the second half of action. Do not go anywhere. We will recap the first half, and of course, thanks to more of our sponsors coming up in the halftime break. Stay tuned, about 15 minutes to go before the second half of soccer from Lakeville North High School. Scoreless and a must-win game for the Blizzard.
America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com.
Back here inside Lakeville North High School in Lakeville, Minnesota, in a scoreless game, 0-0 between the Blizzard and Siouxland United FC. About 7 minutes away from the start of the second half of action here on Game Time. Glad you're with us, Anthony Winker here, and probably a half that you can live with if you're the Blizzard. They didn't really have the ball that much, but they had their spell where they kind of turned down the gas and put the pressure on a little bit. But in this kind of weather, well, the sun is dipping away, so that'll probably help as, you know, the night air comes in and cools things down here. But they were running hard and kind of put a ton of energy into the first around 20 minutes of that match, and they were unable to get one across, and then they kind of had to just bear down and play some defense in the rest of the contest. And the rest of the first half of this contest, I should say, and they were able to keep the ball out of their net. A couple of good opportunities, but Danny Burgo shut down both of them, and that's where we stand, 0-0 in this one. But again, just a reminder for those who are just joining us, here's what the standings look like right now. Siouxland United FC currently does sit atop the table with 15 points, but based off of points percentage. So even though they have 2 points fewer than Duluth FC. I believe that is why they are on top of the standings, is because they have a better points percentage in their contests. And there you see the Blizzard at the bottom of the table, but they're not quite eliminated yet. If they can get one across, get the win today, they would pull themselves into a tie for 4th place. And then they're gonna need some help from some other teams above them, and the Demon Hawks and the Sioux Falls Thunder can't get off of 10 points either, and then it'll be up to the tiebreakers to determine that. But there will be no hope for the Blizzard unless they can get the win today. A draw won't suffice. They're going to have to find a way to not only beat Siouxland United FC, the goalie, once, but also keep the ball out of their own net. So we'll have to see how that goes. They got 45 more minutes to try to attempt to save their season and try to continue playing and clinch the first playoff berth in their young history. Not too much to speak of in terms of stats, just a couple of yellow cards handed out to Siouxland United FC and then one handed out to the Blizzard. And that's been about it. A couple of shots, a couple of saves, and not too much else. Not even really that many corners either. I think both teams had one corner, but a lot of the set pieces, kind of the corner kick style set pieces, have come via the way of the throw-in. So those are just kind of interesting, where both teams have a player where they trust to, from the sideline, try to launch that ball into the box and kind of create some chaos and some havoc. And that's Devin Negredo for the Blizzard. He's had a couple of good ones, and that's going to be maybe what they're going to try to have to try to generate a lot of their offense on, is maybe forcing some of those balls in there just like that. Well, that is just about going to wrap it up for the halftime recap. While we have the time, we're going to take this opportunity to thank some more of our sponsors. Up next, Christian Bros, his great automotive services. Check them out at their Lakeville location or their 2 other locations in the Metro. Schmitty and Sons, the official away game transportation for the MN Blizzard FC. They get the Blizzard where they need to go with their reliable service. Summit Ortho, with orthopedic urgent care, open daily from 8 to 8 at 6 locations Metro-wide, including Lakeville. Summit has you covered. You can also set up your high school sports physical at them as well. Centerpoint Dental, with 4 experienced dentists across 2 convenient locations in Lakeville and Burnsville. Centerpoint Dental is dedicated to providing professional, quality care to patients of all ages. Call for an appointment today. Herbert and Gerbert, the Blizzard sandwich sponsor. You can visit the Lakeville location for an awesome sub at Herbert and Gerbert's. And last but not least, the Lakeville Brewing Company. You can check out one of their 3 locations in the South Metro. Their Lakeville Brewing on the Lake in Lakeville reopens soon. We'll take another break, and when we come back, the second half of action coming up on Game Time. Can the Blizzard find a way to save their season? We'll find out in just a little bit.
One, two, three, Blizzard!
America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com.
One, two, three, Blizzard!
America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you're moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com. America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you're moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com.
Back here inside Lakeville North High School, getting set to go for the second half of action after a scoreless first 45 between these two teams. We'll see how the second 45 goes. A reminder, of course, this is a must-win game for the Blizzard. And looking to try to extend their season, they're going to need to get a win today and then get some help in the standings from the other teams as we are officially underway in the second half of action. 45 minutes on the clock, and we're counting up. And Morgan creates the steal. Jaden Morgan trying to get back to the inside, but defended well. And this ball will be taken over by the Outlaws. Moving from right to left across your screen now in these burnt orange jerseys. And the Blizzard from left to right in the dark colored jerseys. The lights are on now at Lakeville North High School as the sun is dipped below the horizon. As Locker is hunting some cars in the parking lot on the far side of the field with that clearance all the way over the wall. Abdallah. A win today for Siouxland United FC will put them in the driver's seat in the North Conference. That would push them ahead of Duluth FC with 18 points. A draw, and they would be 1 point behind them. The couple of fewer matches played. And this is just the 8th match of the season for the Outlaws. And I don't know if DeGrado touched him there. Perhaps. DeGrado's not complaining too much. Or make that Hermanson. But either way, a foul was called, and this is going to be a free kick for Siouxland United. I mean, if there's a place where this Siouxland United team might be a little bit vulnerable, it has been on the road. And that was where their struggles in the beginning of the year both took place, away from Sioux City, Iowa. Both of those losses coming away from home against the Sioux Falls Thunder and the Iowa Demon Hawks by twin 2-1 scores in that contest. Just one win on the road so far this season for the Outlaws, and it did come as part of this 5-match win streak. This is just their 4th match away from home. The last 2 games of the regular season for them will both take place next week. One at home, and 1 on the road. As for the Blizzard, of course, a reminder, this is it. This is the end of the regular season for them, the 10th and final game, 5th and final home game. And, of course, the Blizzard have been excellent on their home turf so far this season. Both of their wins on the year have come here. They also have a draw, and then they gave Duluth FC, the second-place team in this conference, all they could handle here. So a 2-1-1 record. Foul called here on Navia. Maybe going down a little easy there was Madrigal. Not a ton of subs made by either side so far. I don't recall seeing anybody coming in off the bench to start, as Yoshida will get it outside. Now it's Foreman trying to work past his number 2 in Hermanson, and does. Gets it to the middle. It comes loose. Shot taken, and that's driven just wide of the cage. It looked like the Blizzard defense had that one covered if that one was directed towards the target, but it'd be driven wide on the turf. And this is going to be a goal kick now for the Blizzard, and they'll try to drive it downfield as hard and as far as they can. I'm going to see if they have that burst of energy again. They're going to need to find a goal today. It's hard to score when you don't have the ball, and certainly that has been a bit of a problem this evening for Minnesota. That might help, though. That's an errant pass out of bounds, and this will be a Blizzard throw. Estrada Cortez, the pass off target. Now look out, here comes a chance for Siouxland United on the run. And chip shot, oh, and Burgos got a piece of it. Still so dangerous is Rocha. He's had 2 great looks, but Burgos has been up to the task both times. Looked like Rocha's trying to just chip that one over him, but not quite. Rocha, of course, the leading goal scorer. 5 goals on the season for the Outlaws, and it's tied for the 3rd most in the conference. More trouble here, though, for the Blizzard, trying to work it free. And I think a little bit of assistance there as that ball is crushed out of bounds. Should be a Blizzard goal kick, and it would appear that it is with everybody walking back up the field. Our next sponsor is the local pub. You can visit one of their 3 metro locations for great food, a soccer match, and a great time. That's the local pub. McGoey, and there's the flag. It's just offside. McGoey no slouch either, by the way. The Blizzard, we talked a little bit about Rocha and what he's done for the Outlaws, but McGoey has been that for the Blizzard this year. He's got 4 goals on the year, tied for 4th in the conference. So, I mean, certainly a really impressive season that he's put together as the most dangerous goal scorer for the Blizzard. Down the middle of the field, a chance just outside the box, played back, driven in low, and Locker, he's put his body on the line multiple times today to break up good scoring opportunities, and he does so again. On the reload, here comes the Outlaws again. They get it towards the middle. Can Locker, he does a good job to stay in front of another one, and this one's going to be cleared out. Not quite all the way. Shot from distance. That one took a deflection. This should be a corner for the Outlaws, and it will be. But a couple of good opportunities. And the Blizzard defense playing well. packing the house and trying to keep this ball out of their goal. Has to feel like they let one in, that might be it. The in-swinger on the corner. Locker rises up for it, and it'll be headed out of immediate trouble by Just. The ball comes right back towards the box, and a diving save by Burgos. That one was on Contreras. He got head to ball, but Burgos read it beautifully. Danny Burgos with his probably second at least, maybe third, just excellent save to keep this game close. And going to get a foul called here, I believe, on the Outlaws. Free kick coming up for Minnesota. They're certainly playing much better in this contest, at least so far, than they did in the last meeting between these two teams, as DeGrado discards his man, will play on. DeGrado on the second attempt. Again, nice play. Joss trying to work it free. Work down into the feet, and Hermanson able to get a foot to it, and DeGrado will kick it out of bounds. But I mentioned the last time that these two teams met, it was a 4-1 victory for Siouxland United. This one coming at Bishop Central High School. Blizzard trailed in that game at the half 2-0 and ended up losing 4-1. McGoey did score a goal in that contest. Actually checked out the Jaden Morgan, I believe, was the goal scorer in that contest for the Blizzard, but they weren't quite on the same level that day. But so far, looking like a different team and a different game so far. It's a good ball through. Burgos got a piece. Trouble. It's driven. And Locker again. How many times has he, as the last? Welcome back here inside of Lakeville North High School. Apologize for the technical difficulties there. We had a little bit of a Wi-Fi issue, and in that time, the Siouxland United did score a goal from Contreras, so that made it 1-0, and now a lot of work to do here for the Blizzard. Rocha running down the left side here. Again, apologize for those technical difficulties there. Trying to get that internet back up and running. Should be good now. Hopefully you can all hear us. Back home. Now the Blizzard, after that goal from Contreras, kind of just took the ball and dribbled through a couple of defenders and flipped it past Burgos. A little bit tardy on the challenge that time, and tough break for the Blizzard, and going to have some work to do to try to get themselves back in this game and at least maybe get the result. But, I mean, that one, they need the win, if you remember. And just 3 points back of the playoff spot. The only way to do that is find a way to score twice here. Munoz finds it outside for Foreman. Plays it through, and now back outside. Nice move by Munoz. Try to chip it back in the box. DeGrado got a piece, and he'll flip it up the field. We headed back for Ironside. And now move to the left for Abdallah. Rocha keeps this one in bounds, but cut off by Hermanson. And foul called on Rocha. So approaching here about 24 minutes to go in this one, and the Blizzard are going to have to find a way to score twice. It has to start with one, and we'll see if they can turn what should be possession now into a goal. Hermanson to kick this one from deep in his own territory. Pretty solid piece of this one. Morgan will fly. Worked all the way back to Ironside, and the Outlaws have it back again already. Good challenge by DeGrado on the sideline, but not quite going to get that call. It's going to be a throw-in for the Outlaws here. Still trying to figure out, there's some sort of delay here. Now we're back in action. And a physical battle there between DeGrado and Paiwi. Settled well by Foreman, and he works it outside. It's handled by Yoshida, and he gets it back here. Yoshida. Munoz. Cleared by the Blizzard, and it's go all the way down the field, but there's nobody there. Navia with the step, but nobody able to recover the ball there for the Blizzard. And the Outlaws able to retain possession as we approach 20 minutes to go now. Abdallah. It's be driven to the far side of the field from Munoz. And foul called here on the Blizzard. Our next sponsor is Union 32 Bar in Eagan. Union 32 Craft House is uniquely Minnesotan, featuring a dog-friendly patio. You can bring your pups to enjoy the sun. Trivia Mafia every Thursday as well at 7 p.m. That's at Union 32 Bar in Eagan. Abdallah makes it and gets it to the far side of the field. On the run, here's Giangos. He drives it in. Locker again getting his body to the ball. And it'll be cleared. Tracked down. And out of bounds. Not quite. Here come the Blizzard. Gonna look for it up ahead. Here goes Morgan. Morgan. Just at the edge of the 18, turns and looks for a retreat, an option. Trying to just maintain possession. He kept it in bounds and is able to flip the field. Now a steal from the Outlaws, and now here's trouble. Oh, and somehow on the recovery, Locker again. Somehow was able to kick that one away from Paiwi. Got his left foot around. Looked like he was beat, but was able to make the play. Man, he's been so good today for the Blizzard. Interrupting a ton of plays. Another corner kick coming up, though, for the Outlaws. The in-swinger comes high, headed, and off the bottom of the uprights for the field goal posts here. So not quite the crossbar, under the crossbar that you would want there. Thankfully for the Blizzard. But time is really starting to become a factor here. Locker again. You can probably count on two hands the number of goal-saving plays that he's made. What a game by number 21 in black today. See if the rest of his team can pick him up, though. They got to get this ball cleared and then try to get some offense going. Another throw coming up for Siouxland United. The Outlaws trying to make out like bandits here this evening at Lakeville North High School and get that 6th win in a row. They've been hard to beat ever since starting the year 0-2. And scored the most goals in the North Conference with now 22 on the year, and that is with a few less matches played by a lot of the teams around them. So really impressive numbers on the year. Burgos couldn't have played that with his hand. He was able to trap that one down and not have too heavy of a touch. It's got to be a little stressful for a goalkeeper. Definitely not used to that. Foul called here. Locker got taken down. Next sponsor, Holiday Inn in Lakeville, the official summer away team hotel for the Blizzard. That's Holiday Inn in Lakeville. This ball go out of bounds. They're going to say no, it was a foul called on the Blizzard. $15 minutes and whatever stoppage time gets added left to go here in this game, and Blizzard trailing 1-0 off the goal by Contreras. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties for those that ended up missing that goal, but hopefully everything is back in order and working now, and there will be no more delays in the final 15 minutes with the stream. Foul called here, the Blizzard. Got to show a sense of urgency here. Morgan, he got hit on the shin guard a couple of times. Like that, Diego Connell, I believe that was battling. The time is still ticking. And the clock's still moving. This is going to be a drop ball. Some subs being made on the far side of the field here. Some water being had. And now we're back in action. Yoshida takes the return, but kind of had to break stride in order to catch it. So Foreman will restart the attack. Davidson, the long ball up ahead. First head to it belonged to Hermanson, and it's going to go out of bounds. Be another throw coming up for the Outlaws. Up 1-0. The time ticking down here on the game and on the Blizzard season if they can't find a way. Half volley shot, and that one went just wide. It was a good chance for Abdallah. Pushing up in the attack. He does have a goal on the season, and there you could kind of see why. Got a pretty decent amount of velocity on that shot. Morgan gets ahead to it, and between the legs pass, not quite there. And the deep pass handled by Foreman. Abdallah. Davidson. And someone's got to put pressure on this ball probably if you're the Blizzard. It's a tough break there for the Blizzard. You have a guy up ahead, but the ball just doesn't quite make it to him. Back on the attack are the Outlaws. Chance here, shot, and another goal. And Siouxland United FC doubles the lead, a 2-0 advantage. A beautiful strike from Miyangos, and that's probably the dagger in this game. And Siouxland United FC, the best offense in the conference, just put relentless pressure on all night long and have broken through twice in the second half. 2-0 lead now for the Siouxland United FC. We'll see what kind of fight the Blizzard have left in the final 10 and change of this contest. Morgan checked out of the game, by the way, and looks like another sub is going to come back in, as the Blizzard will put it in play. And Hermanson will dance away from the defense. Finds Elijah Bishop. Bishop's ball is intercepted by Munoz. And just like that, possession ceases for the Blizzard. Sprinting is Foreman, and he's able to keep it in bounds. Foreman will take on Hermanson, and Hermanson will kick it out of bounds, and this will be a corner for the Outlaws again. Nearly an Olympico. But a good head by Hermanson to keep it out. Another corner kick will come up here. There's now under 8 to go in the game. Another one, a little more mustard on this, headed back into the box, and bicycle attempt not there. This ball will be kicked out of bounds. And another whistle here. More changes are going to be made. 2 here from Siouxland United. And they've certainly looked like the class of the conference. This is going to be certainly a fun postseason in this division between, you know, Siouxland United and Duluth FC, the top 2 teams. The last matchup between those two teams, Duluth and Siouxland United, a 1-0 victory for Siouxland United. And they'll match up again in the Outlaws' next game on July 2nd. That one will be. And that one will be in Duluth. So Siouxland United won at home, and now it'll be Duluth's turn to host. Try to see if they can get some revenge, but one would think that those two teams would probably meet in the postseason again. Nice step by Bishop to create a steal. And now a chance. Defending on that pass, but able to work it back. And Bishop unable to drive that one in. And this is going to be a corner coming up for the Blizzard. Try to get themselves on the board. Can Negredo deliver in a good one here? The in-swinger trying to get it to the back post. Settled, but no shot able to be taken. And now on the run, here comes Siouxland United. But again, Locker there to interrupt. Puts it in the box. Up into the air. But Ironside is able to soar up into the air and snatch it away. Under 5 to go now in the game. Next sponsor is Topper's Pizza. Enjoy a great Topper's Pizza today at one of their many metro locations. You can also win a free pizza during the halftime raffle. That's Topper's Pizza. Here's Bishop. And that one is interrupted by Abdullah. And Hermanson will get there and throw it in quick. Hermanson. Oh, he got kicked up high. Ouch. And that'll be a foul. Another sponsor will get out of the way quick. Planet Soccer, and visit one of their 4 metro locations for all of your soccer needs. It's at Planet Soccer. Must score set piece here for the Blizzard from just about 25 yards out. Negredo standing over it by his lonesome. Everybody up in the attacking third right now for the Blizzard. Negredo drives it. It's going for the goal, but just off the top of the upright. And will bounce out of bounds. A good try by Negredo. That was twirling towards the corner, but couldn't quite bend that one down enough. So another goal kick coming up. The official storage company of the Blizzard is Pods. Use Pods for all of your storage and moving needs. Visit PODS, that's pods.com, to learn more. Now the Blizzard putting the pressure on, trying to force a turnover. And get a foul called. And hopefully things don't get too chippy at the end of the game. That was a bad free kick, though, by the Outlaws, right to the feet of Chirac, and he just went down hard on the far side of the field. A hard foul. Now there's an Outlaw down as well. But Chirac still rolling around in some pain here. Hopefully he's okay. And Chirac still down there on the far side of the field. Not a normal starter, but in there with some of the unavailable players today for the Blizzard, but he's played a good match so far. Looks like he is going to come out of this game. And I believe that's Carter Hermanson who's going to re-enter this contest. Negredo. A deep ball down the field. Look at that hustle to win that ball free. And then a little nutmeg. And then he got taken out in the box. And that is going to be a foul, and it'll be a PK. So an opportunity for the Blizzard to try to cut this lead at least in half here with a penalty. It should be, but is that just outside the box? Thought for sure that was in, but I suppose not. We chipped in, header. Not quite. I suppose that looked like that for sure was in the box, far side of the field, but they did not award the PK. must have been out by like inches. But it's a tough break for the Blizzard. Should be a throw here for the Blizzard. We're into stoppage time now, pretty deep. Knocked out of bounds by Abdallah. And Hermanson will throw it in now. Hermanson will drive it towards the box. Settled and kicked up into the air. And out of bounds it goes. For a corner. Negredo will hustle over. I thought for sure that was going to be a goal kick. Negredo put it in the spot that he likes. Negredo drives it in low, comes free. It's still loose. Shot by Magoe, got blocked. Now back outside. Locker, he'll wire it from distance, and that's stopped by Ironside. Another corner. There are 3 balls on the field right now. And a sense of urgency from the Blizzard. Negredo will put one in again. Headed up into the air, but this will go out of bounds. And that flurry is over. And a good try from the Blizzard. A couple of great scoring opportunities. They're just unable to get to the back of the net. Well, the goal kick coming up for the Outlaws, and just about as much time wasted as possible over there by Ironside. Oh, finally we'll kick it down the field. Settled, and now here come the Outlaws looking for 3. Shot taken. Burgos makes the save. And this will be a corner for Siouxland United if they're allowed to take it. It certainly looks like the season is going to come to a close tonight for the Blizzard. They gave a valiant effort tonight against the best this league has to offer. Or this conference, that is. Siouxland United. And they gave them all they could handle, but they're just unable to break the seal and get one past this rock-solid back line and possession-based squad that have played keep away for most of the night. And they did a fantastic job and are certainly a formidable foe at the top of the conference. They will finish off the sweep of the Blizzard tonight, and there is the final whistle. 2-0 defeat for the Blizzard tonight at the hands of the Outlaws. And with that, the season has come to a close. A good season, though, for the Blizzard.
Congratulations to both teams on a great played game.
They definitely, had some things to build on this year and played much better this year than they did last year. They got a couple of wins, were competitive in pretty much every game this year, but unfortunately not quite good enough to make it into the playoffs this year. So hopefully next year will be the year for the Blizzard to finally get that first playoff berth, but certainly a lot to be proud of this season from the Minnesota Blizzard FC. They gave all they could tonight against a really good Siouxland United squad, but Siouxland United improves to 6-0-2 on the season, winners of 6 straight games. And boy, have they been an absolute wagon over that stretch, outscoring their opponents 21-4 over that 6-game winning streak, and certainly being hot at the right time. They still got 2 matches left to go, though, and they'll have a fun one coming up next. July 2nd on the road at Duluth FC, the battle for the top of the conference. For now, Siouxland United has occupied that top spot, 18 points for Siouxland United. to take over that top spot from Duluth FC. So we'll have to see now if they're able to consolidate that in their next match, and that's going to be a fun one. As for the Blizzard, they fall today by a score of 2-0 to fall to 2-1-7, and that concludes the regular season for the Blizzard. 10 goals for, 18 goals against on the year. They were one of the stingiest defenses in the conference this year, and they were under 2 goals per game allowed, and that certainly is good enough to keep you in a lot of games, and they were certainly in a lot of games, but never just that offense wasn't quite ever there. And unfortunately, that was the bane of the existence both today and kind of throughout the entirety of the season for the Blizzard. They find a way to score some more goals next year, and perhaps that playoff berth that has eluded them so far will come to fruition next year for the squad. That is just about going to wrap it up for us tonight from Game Time. And thank you so much for joining us this evening and for another season of Minnesota Blizzard soccer. We had a lot of fun broadcasting it, and we hope to see you again next year on Game Time. For all of us here at Game Time MN, my name is Anthony Winker signing off. Thanks so much for joining us this tonight and this season, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.
America is always on the move, moving forward, moving up, moving home. And whether you are moving across town or across the country, Pods delivers when we say we will, with no surprise costs. Which is why we were voted America's #1 container moving company. Join over 6 million people who have trusted Pods with their move. Book your move today at pods.com.